federal government has threatened to shut down the Akano Ibiam Airport in Enugu owing to the poor positioning of a market and state mast within its vicinity. This is the warning, of course, coming from the Minister of State for Aviation, Mr. Hadi Sirika, who says that the present position of the market is obstructing safe flight operations. Senator Sirika, who explained this today in Lagos at the 6th Stakeholders Forum, also disclosed that Ethiopian Airlines was also contemplating suspending its operations because of the poor state of the infrastructure. The minister also adds that the airport's runway is in poor state, while the sighting of a free trade zone at the end of the runway and persistent bird strikes have been affecting airlines. Meanwhile, the Enugu State Executive Council has ordered the immediate closure of the Oriemene market and the abattoir near the airport. The State Commissioner for Information, who briefed journalists on the issue, also disclosed that government has ordered the immediate removal of all illegal structures encroaching on the airport's land. And for some company news now, leading information and communications technology ICT, MTN Nigeria, today announced the signing of 7-year, 200 billion naira medium-term facility with 7 local banks. The agreement, which was signed at the ceremony at the law office of Aluko and Oyebode in Ikoyi, had in attendance key partners and stakeholders. Speaking at the signing, the Chief Executive Officer of MTN Nigeria, Ferdi Molman, says that the agreement signposts MTN's commitment in Nigeria.
The signing of a 7-year, 200 billion naira medium-term facility loan is the beginning of a partnership between MTN Nigeria and 7 local banks. The agreement is coordinated by Citibank and Quantum Zenith Access Facility Agent. MTN's Nigeria's Chief Executive Officer, Ferdi Mulman, explains what the funds will be used for.
We see huge opportunity in Nigeria for development and for growth, and the funds that we are signing today give us the ability to start unlocking that growth and that potential. Also the fact that we're rolling some existing facilities over, we also be using the facilities to finance some of our capex, also the deployment of 4G capex in the country, and we're also using the funding to fund some working capital.
The chairman of the board further explains the impact of the partnership on the provision of ICT in the country.
We remain committed to giving Nigeria world-class communication services, and to do that we must have strong, flexible and committed financing partners.
The facility is provided by a syndicate of banks comprising Access Bank, Guarantee Trust Bank, Zenith Bank, Fidelity Bank, First City Monument Bank, United Bank of Africa and First Bank.
This is not the first time Nigerian banks have come together to work with MTN, and it's because of the confidence that we have in MTN. And as you know, MTN operates in multiple geographies, just like some of the Nigerian banks. So what we're doing today is something that we're used to. We believe that this transaction will help MTN pursue their next phase of growth. We would like to also say that MTN will also continue to support the banking industry because they provide a critical service that makes us do our work as banks.
The facility is structured with a 2-year moratorium and repayment plan of 7 years. This is the 8th syndicated loan agreement by MTN in Nigeria since inception 18 years ago.
Meanwhile, indigenous oil and gas company Seplat Petroleum Development Company (PLC) has posted 73 billion naira profit and 228 billion naira revenue for the 2018 fiscal year. These figures are contained in the company's annual report and accounts presented to shareholders at the company's 6th annual general meeting in Lagos. The chairman of Seplat Petroleum, Brian Ojako, restates the company's commitment to boost production as well as drive increased shareholders' yields and capital appreciation.
What is the current position.
For the 6th year running, board members, management and shareholders of Seplat Petroleum Development Company PLC, as well as representatives of regulatory bodies, meet to receive report on how the company's investments are managed and to review its financial performance in 2018.
We promised you that we'll be creating value.
The chairman of the company, Brian Ojiako, responds to observations and questions raised concerning the company's investment modules and strategies.
You wanted a refinancing strategy. If you read that aspect very well, you see that what we've done is to use that mechanism to reduce the cost of our borrowing.
In the year under review, Seplat's revenue grew from 138 billion naira in 2017 to 228 billion naira. Gross profit also increased from 65 billion naira to 120 billion naira. The company recorded 80 billion naira profit before tax, as against 13 billion naira recorded over the same period in 2017. However, the company's net profit after tax dipped by 45% from 81 billion naira recorded in 2017 to 45 billion naira.
I hereby propose
For their commitment to the company, shareholders are rewarded with dividend.
the final dividend for your company be 15 naira 32 kobo per share as recommended by the board of directors.
Both the chairman of the board and the chief executive officer believe that the company's operational and financial performance reflect a solid foundation for growth.
We're back now reinstating our work program. As you saw, we did a capex of just under 100 million in 2018. We're going to double that capex in 2019, and at the end of 2019 into 2020, you start seeing the results of the increase in capex spends.
One of the cardinal points of this result is the fact that we have taken the FID for our real project of gas transformation in Nigeria, the ANO project.
As part of its future initiatives, the company says it plans to invest in low-risk oil production drilling opportunities within the existing portfolio and continued expansion of the gas business.
Let's move on now to business news with Ann Waldo.
You First. First Bank.
Thank you, Gimba. Let's begin with the Central Bank Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, asking for the need to diversify the revenue structure of the federal government in order to promote sustainable growth of the Nigerian economy. Mr. Emefiele was a guest in a special convocation ceremony of the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, where he delivered a lecture titled From Recession to Growth, the story of Nigeria's recovery from the 2016 economic recession.
What is the road to sustainable growth for Nigeria? 1. Significantly increase the country's policy buffers, including fiscal measures to increase the external reserves. Diversify the revenue structure of the federal government in order to rely much less on direct proceeds from sale of crude oil. Proactive fiscal actions, specifically infrastructure investment, is required to enhance economic growth. Provision of cheap financing to boost local production of priority goods in critical sectors of the economy in order to reduce reliance on foreign imports.
The total dividend payment of the sum of 19.4 billion naira, that's the sum that has been approved for shareholders of Nigerian brewers at 2 naira 43 kobo per share. The sum was approved during the company's 73rd annual general meeting held at the Musan Center here in Lagos.
Members of the Board of Directors, Executive Committee and shareholders of Nigerian Breweries PLC all gather at the Shell Nigerian Hall, Musan Center for the 73rd Annual General Meeting.
Hereby report.
Apart from receiving reports on how the company's investments were managed, they also reviewed its financial performance in 2018. In the year under review, the company recorded a net revenue of 324 billion naira compared to 344.5 billion naira recorded in 2017. while profit before tax stood at 29 billion naira as opposed to 46.5 billion naira in 2017. Despite the challenging operating environment in 2018, the company was able to end the year with a profit after tax of 19 billion naira, lower than the 33 billion naira recorded in 2017. And a total dividend of 19.4 billion naira at 2 naira 43 kobo per share was declared.
Although we had a dip of about 5%, 2018 compared to 2017, I think in terms of top line, I think we can still consider it a very, very good performance.
We'll brace up and continue to run our business in a way that will deliver return on investment to the shareholder, not just the now. Our focus is not just on the now. We've done more than 70 years. So we're looking ahead to another 70 years for those who will come after us.
But what do the shareholders think?
One will consider the dividends that they are paying as being good, coupled with the fact that they're literally paying out everything that they earn.
Although the company says its results were impacted by the increased excise duty rates, they are optimistic that they have the right strategy in place to continue to be competitive.
The euphoria of a newly listed telecoms giant MTN Nigeria is now putting Midas touch on investor sentiments, as increased demand for its shares already sustained the previous rebound and even added 191 billion naira to the domestic stock market. Let's hear more from Edidiong Iwan.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. A day after MTN Nigeria listed its shares on the stock exchange, the market sustained the recovery recorded in Thursday's session as the all-share index rose by 1.53%, slowly inching back to the 29,000 level. Now, traders attribute Friday's stellar performance to investors scrambling for the telecom giant's newly listed shares, pushing the market cap higher to 12.716 trillion naira. Now, looking at the list of top trades, we see MTN Nigeria trading 48.35 million of its shares, worth 5.52 billion naira. 2 out of the 5 sectors we tracked closed positive, while the 3 others ended in negative territory. Insurance gained 0.41%, while industrial goods was up 0.08%. On the flip side, oil and gas, banking and consumer goods shared 0.41%, 0.39% and 0.03% each. Overall, 267.83 million shares worth 7.5 billion naira were exchanged in 3,600 transactions. And that's the stock market report for the day and the week. I'm Edidiong Iwan.
I wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you for watching Business News Tonight. I'm Anne Wilder.